Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we, as a species, keep electing, promoting, or following bullies? The angry ones? The ones who make us feel small? The ones who promise order while bringing chaos? It's like we're all addicted to strongmen. Doesn't matter the country, the era, the industry, we just keep falling for it. We see the red flags. We know what's coming, but we just can't help ourselves. It's like a toxic relationship, but on a global scale. Let's go back, way back, when survival meant strength. The strongest person was the leader, period. No debates, no elections, just whoever could beat the crap out of everyone else. Fast forward a few thousand years and we're still doing this, just in suits now. We've been conditioned to think strong equals right, even when strong is just loud, angry, and deeply incompetent. But let's be real. Would you trust one doctor's opinion without a second opinion? No. Would you trust one guy to build your whole damn house by himself? No. But when it comes to our money, our investments, our future, we just go, one person's fine. Are you kidding me? And while we're on the topic of bad decisions, let's talk about mass firings, because apparently that's the hot new trend in corporate America. Just fire hundreds of people because numbers. People argue, oh, but unemployment only lasts 26 weeks and it's only a percentage of salary, so it's fine. So now we're suddenly financial experts? Let me explain something. Cutting jobs en masse doesn't solve anything. It's just lazy management. You know what would solve problems? Actually reviewing employees. Maybe just a thought here. If someone isn't performing well, you talk to them. Instead of nuking the entire department and acting like you saved the company. And let's address another brilliant corporate idea. Firing people just because they're old. You know, the people with experience? Why are we pretending people over 50 just stop knowing things? We don't apply that logic anywhere else. If you need surgery, do you go, oh, I don't want a doctor with 30 years of experience, give me the intern? No, you don't. But in the workplace, suddenly 30 years of experience is a liability. So what have we learned today? That we keep falling for the same garbage leadership. That we act like one person is enough for our financial future. Even though we wouldn't trust one doctor, one builder, or one lawyer. That mass firings fix nothing. And that getting rid of older workers just because they're old is peak stupidity. We can stop this cycle. But that would require, using common sense for once? Why do we keep following toxic leaders despite knowing their flaws? The answer lies deep within our psychological makeup. Humans have an inherent appeal for authority. From an early age, we are conditioned to respect and follow figures of power, parents, teachers, and later bosses and political leaders. This conditioning makes us more susceptible to authoritative figures, even when they exhibit toxic behaviors. Another factor is fear. Toxic leaders often use fear as a tool to maintain control. Whether it's fear of losing a job, social status, or even personal safety, fear can be a powerful motivator that keeps people in line. This fear is not just imposed by the leader, but is often internalized by the followers, making it even harder to break free. Then there's the need for security. In uncertain times, people crave stability and certainty, which toxic leaders often promise, albeit falsely. This need for security can cloud our judgment, making us overlook the negative traits of these leaders in favor of the perceived safety they offer. In summary, our appeal for authority, fear, and need for security create a perfect storm that makes us vulnerable to toxic leadership. Understanding these psychological reasons is the first step in breaking the cycle. Remember, questioning authority is not just a right, but a responsibility. Only by doing so can we hope to build a better, more equitable society. While psychology plays a significant role in why we follow toxic leaders, sociology adds another layer of complexity. One key concept is groupthink. Groupthink occurs when the desire for harmony or conformity in a group results in an irrational or dysfunctional decision-making outcome. In the presence of a toxic leader, group members may suppress dissenting opinions, overlook potential problems, and collectively rationalize poor decisions, all to maintain group cohesion. Another sociological factor is social proof. Social proof is the psychological phenomenon where people assume the actions of others in an attempt to reflect correct behavior for a given situation. When a toxic leader gains a following, others may join in simply because they see others doing so. This creates a cycle where the leader's influence grows exponentially, regardless of the negative impact. Cultural influences also play a crucial role. In some cultures, hierarchical structures and respect for authority are deeply ingrained. This cultural conditioning can make it difficult for individuals to challenge or question toxic leadership. Moreover, media portrayal of strong, authoritative figures can glamorize toxic traits, making them seem desirable or even necessary for effective leadership. Understanding these sociological factors is essential in combating the allure of toxic leaders. By recognizing the impact of groupthink, social proof, and cultural influences, we can become more aware of the social dynamics at play and make more informed decisions. Remember, true leadership is about empowering others, not exploiting them. It's up to us to demand better and hold our leaders accountable. Throughout history, toxic leadership has left indelible marks on societies, often with catastrophic consequences. Let's explore some notable examples from different eras and regions. First, we look at Nero, the infamous Roman emperor. Ruling from 54 to 68 AD, Nero's reign was marked by extreme cruelty, extravagance, and debauchery. His tyrannical leadership led to the Great Fire of Rome, and he is often blamed for the widespread persecution of Christians. Nero's reign ended in chaos, with his suicide plunging Rome into a year of civil war. Moving forward to the 20th century, we encounter Joseph Stalin, the Soviet Union's leader from the mid-1920s until his death in 1953. Stalin's rule was characterized by widespread purges, forced labor camps, and a regime of terror that resulted in the deaths of millions. His toxic leadership created a climate of fear and repression that stifled dissent and innovation. Another example is Idi Amin, who ruled Uganda from 1971 to 1979. Amin's regime was notorious for its human rights abuses, political repression, and economic mismanagement. His leadership resulted in the deaths of an estimated 300,000 Ugandans and left the country in a state of turmoil and poverty. Lastly, we examine Pol Pot, the leader of the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia from 1975 to 1979. Pol Pot's radical policies aimed at creating a classless agrarian society led to the Cambodian genocide, where an estimated 1.7 to 2 million people died from starvation, forced labor, and execution. These historical examples show the devastating impact of toxic leadership. They serve as stark reminders of the importance of vigilance, accountability, and the need for ethical leadership. By learning from the past, we can strive to build a future where true leadership empowers and uplifts rather than exploits and destroys. As we've seen, toxic leadership can have devastating consequences on societies. But how can we break this cycle of following toxic leaders? Let's explore some potential solutions. First, promoting critical thinking is essential. Education systems should focus on developing individuals' ability to question and analyze information critically. By fostering a culture of inquiry, we can empower people to make informed decisions rather than blindly following harmful leaders. Next, encouraging diverse leadership is crucial. Diversity in leadership brings varied perspectives and experiences, leading to more balanced and inclusive decision-making. By promoting leaders from different backgrounds, we can create a more equitable and just society. Fostering a culture of accountability is another key strategy. Leaders should be held responsible for their actions, with transparent mechanisms in place to ensure this. This includes regular audits, independent oversight bodies, and a free press that can report on leadership misconduct without fear. Additionally, supporting grassroots movements and community leadership can help counteract the allure of toxic leaders. When people see positive change driven by their peers, they are more likely to trust and follow leaders genuinely committed to their well-being. Lastly, advocating for ethical leadership training can make a significant difference. By instilling values like empathy, integrity, and humility in current and future leaders, we can create a generation of leaders who prioritize the greater good over personal gain. By implementing these strategies, we can break the cycle of following toxic leaders and build a future where leadership is synonymous with integrity, accountability, and positive change. It is a collective effort that requires vigilance, education, and a commitment to ethical principles. Together, we can create a world where true leadership empowers and uplifts rather than exploits and destroys.